Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a fully working duel system in Minecraft. No mods and no things you have to download, only command blocks and redstone. Alright, let's get into it. Really quickly though, before we start, if you want to test out this Minecraft server I made, which does have the Duels game mode, you can check it out. The server IP is right there on that side, minigamemayhem.aternos.me. And the port is 58691. Also, the Minigame Mayhem server IP and port will be in the description of the video. Alright, let's start the tutorial. Okay, I'm going to be testing out this duel system with my friend Orange first, just to show you guys how it works. So the first cool thing this has is this door automatically closes when two people are in the room. So you can see if I go out, then it opens. And there's no pressure plates or anything. But if two people are in the room, then the door closes, just so that the duel system will only duel those two people. Alright, so I'm going to hit the button, and as you can see, brought us to the arena, give us resistance, and we both have iron armor and a sword. And now we have to fight each other, and let's see who's going to win this. I think it's going to be Orange. He's so good at PvP. Come on! Oof. Yep, I was killed by him. Okay, I just wanted to showcase one more thing before I show you how it works. If you actually win the duel, watch, Orange is going to let me kill him. Come here. I suck at PvPing. But anyways, if you win the duel, then it clears your inventory, says you won the duel, and brings you back into this room. And it says in chat, duel server, BoxyGriffin5277, which is my Minecraft username, sorry that isn't Snow You're a Gamer, has won the duel. Now, let me show you how it works. Okay guys, so this system, if you look at it right now, it seems pretty complicated, but I'm going to break it down into a few parts to make it easier to understand. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make this door that closes when two people go in here. So, first thing you want is a command block, repeating, unconditional, always active. And if you don't know how to get a command block, it's pretty easy. Just type /give @s or your username there, command _block. And then boom, you'll get a command block. So anyways, the first thing you want is a repeating command block. Block type is set to repeat, redstone, always active. And then, this is the command you're going to want to put in. /test4 @a, x equals, and then these x, y, and z coordinates, you're going to want to change depending on the location. So right here, this is about the middle of this duel room. And so I got the coordinates from the position. It says -97, -60, -234. So the first one is x, the middle one is y, and the last one is z. So for this command block, when you put in the test4, you're going to put bracket x equals, and then the command. Sorry, not the command, the position, comma. Y equals, then the position, comma. Z equals the position, comma. Then this one is going to stay the same for each time. M equals !C, and R, comma, R equals 3. So what that does is M equals !C just checks that the players aren't in creative mode. Because when they're doing the duel, you don't want it to accidentally teleport or close the door if someone in there is in creative mode. And then the R equals 3 is just showing the radius of the room. So this is the middle of the room here. And if I count 1, 2, 3, that's 3 blocks away from it. So this command block will only shut the door if there are 2 players within this section of the room, which is what we want. So that's the first command, pretty simple. Then you're going to want to put a comparator out of it, and then you want 2 pieces of redstone dust, and then a repeater that goes up to the door. So what these pieces of redstone dust do is the comparator checks how many players are in there. And for every player in there, it lights up 1 piece of redstone dust. So if there's 1 player in there, only this piece will light up. If there's 2 players in there, it'll light up this, which lights up the repeater and closes the door. On the other hand here, we have this side, which has 1, 2, 3 and then a repeater. So if there happen to ever be 3 players in there, this repeating command block will slash TP at P, and then you want to put in those same coordinates from the position of the room, and then more coordinates after. So the first set of coordinates, the X equals Y equals coordinates, those are going to be for the middle of your duels room here. And then these last coordinates that are not in the brackets, that just say like -90, -60, those coordinates are going to be coordinates from outside the room. So pretty much that's going to say if there are 3 people in the room, teleport them outside the room. So yep, that's pretty much it for the closing door. Now let's get to the actual duel system. So right behind the button, you're going to have this command block, /execute at P, M equals !C, radius equals 5. So that pretty much says the person can push the button within 5 blocks of it. If entity at P, M equals !C, comma, R equals 3, comma, RM equals 0.1. That pretty much just says whoever pushes the button, look for a person standing next to them to duel with. Run, set block, and then these coordinates are going to be the coordinates right here, which I'll explain in a minute what they do. But you're going to want the coordinates and then set to redstone block. So wherever your setting coordinates are, this is going to be the start of your command block chain. So another thing that you want to do is you want to get this repeating command block, set block, and those exact coordinates to air. And then you want it to be repeat, always active, and delay in ticks 20. And the reason why is because that pretty much says if I were to place a block right up here, it would just make it disappear. And the reason why we need it to do that is because then next time someone pushes the button, it'll place another redstone block here, starting this command block chain. Alright, so this is the command block chain that it actually runs like the duels. So the first thing it's going to do is /effect at A, count equals 2, radius equals 15, clear. So pretty much it'll take the 2 closest people within a 15 block radius of this command block, so that includes this duel room, and clear any effects they might have. So if they had a strength potion on, a resistance potion on, it'll clear that. If you don't want this, then that's totally fine. But the first command block in this chain always has to be impulse and needs redstone. The next command block in the chain, or for the rest of them, they are all going to be chain command blocks, always active. So the next one we have is /replace item, entity, at A, count equals 2, M equals -C. Pretty much the 2 closest people to this command block, it'll swap out whatever's on their slot.armor.chest, so chest armor slot, with an iron chest plate. So this is just how we put on the iron chest plate for the duel. And then the next command block we have puts on the iron helmet for the duel, pretty much the same except slot.armor.head instead of chest. Next one we have, and remember these are all chain, always active. Then we have replace item, entity at A, slot.armor.legs with the iron leggings. And of course you can change this to whatever armor you want. And then slot.armor.feet with iron boots. But it's pretty much all the same command except for those changes. Now, our next command block, this one is going to /give, or just give, it doesn't matter if you have the slash or not, at A, C equals 2, R equals 15, a stone sword. So this is pretty much just give them the sword for the battle. Then, this will affect them with resistance for 3 seconds. So when they spawn into the duel, they have 3 seconds to run away before you can start taking damage. Then this next one will teleport them to the duel. So /teleport at A, M equals !C, C equals 2, R equals 15, with some coordinates there. Okay, so these coordinates at the end of this command are actually going to be the coordinates of your duel arena. So since we want them to spawn on the same block in the middle of the arena. Sadly, I don't know how to make them spawn on different blocks, but we want them to spawn in the middle of the arena. So we go here, get these coordinates, and then fly over here and put them in this chain command block. TP at A. Also, one thing I do want to mention, sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier, but all of these command blocks need to have the arrows pointing at each other so that it goes around like this, all right? And the command blocks have to be in this order, otherwise it'll break. Because if you put the teleport command before giving them the armor command or anything like that, then it will teleport them over there and probably give someone else some armor. So we don't want that to happen, so just try to keep them in this order. And then the last one we have after the teleport is /fill, and then some coordinates air. You can also use set block for this, but all this is doing is going back in here, and we get the coordinates of this button. So just by flying up and like saying here, you get the coordinates of this button. And all it does is remove that button, so that while someone's in a duel, no one else goes over here, pushes the button, and starts another duel. Also, if you're wondering why that did not start a duel, it's because this one tells you if they're not in creative mode, which I'm in creative mode. So that is this part. Now we have to build the part for the actual duel arena over here. So this part's actually more simple than you would think. So the first command we have is test4 at A, x equals, and then coordinates. So you're pretty much testing for the player over here in the arena. So you want to, again, get the coordinates of this spot in the middle of your arena, and then come over here and test if any players are within a 15 block radius, is what this does. So then, of course, like the other one, with a comparator, if there's one player here, it'll shoot through here, which will go through this oak plank block and over and run these commands. But if there are two players here, which when it teleports them, they're both there at the same time, then instead, it'll push this oak block out of the way, making it so these commands can't run until there's only one person left. So that's how we test if there are two players still fighting, or if there's one player left. So once there's one player left, also this counts, you don't want to have this arena too close to somewhere where the players could walk, because if a random player, like let's say there was a hallway here, right? If a player went down this hallway and they were close enough to this, it might teleport them back and say they won the duel. So just put this somewhere where players aren't usually going unless it's for the duel. All right, so once we go through here, we've got to do these command blocks. So, oh yeah, one thing I gotta mention, repeat, always active. All right, so this bottom command block, you're gonna put the name of it as whatever you want. I put it as duel server, just that it seems more like official. And it is going to be an impulse command block that needs redstone. And you're pretty much gonna put, say, at P, M equals exclamation mark, C has just won a duel. So pretty much what this does is when there's only one person left, it teleports sorry, not teleports. It says, hey, that's the nearest player, so they've just won a duel. Then you're gonna do /title at P, title, you won the duel. And if, by the way, if you're wondering how to make this special color text, it's actually pretty easy. All you gotta do is go to the and button on your keyboard, hold it, and this should pop up. And then you can type like the number 4 after it to make it red text, or A to make it greenish, or Q. And then once you do that, like make text like, let's say this one, or actually, let's go number 2. Then you can put like hello. And then once you look in here, it looks like color text. But yeah, so that's how we did it. /title at P title, you won the duel. Next command block, and by the way, these are chain, and they're, again, pointing up at each other so that it'll run from bottom to top. The next one we have is /clear at P, chain, always active. Pretty simple. All that does is clear the inventory of the player who won so that they don't take the armor and swords back into the lobby with them. And the next one, chain always active, TP at P, M equals exclamation mark C, just to make sure they aren't in creative mode. 97, 60, 233. So pretty much those coordinates are just back here outside the duels lobby so that they can then play another duel once they've won. And then this last one, set block, some coordinates, redstone block. So what you're going to do for this one is you're going to come over here and you have to use something called a structure block. So it's pretty easy. So you're going to get where the coordinates are of the redstone block, and then you're going to make a structure block. So if you don't know how to get a structure block, / give that S structure _ block. And what we're going to be using this structure block for is to structure block a button. So let me just make a real quick demonstration of it here, because it's kind of hard to explain once we have that built already. But pretty much, this is the wall with the duels and the button, right, that they push to go into the duel. When they go in, it removes the button so it isn't there. And so we got to use a structure block to make sure the button comes back. So how you're going to do that is, let's say I place the structure block here, right, next to the wall. Then all you got to do is open it up and do size is 1 by 1 by 1. Oops. 1 by 1 by 1, because that's the size of a button, is 1 block by 1 block by 1 block. So what you're going to do next is you're going to open it up here, make sure size is 1 by 1 by 1. Offset is going to be 1 if you have the structure block 1 block below the height of the button. So then you're going to have this block here. So what you're going to have to do, it's going to be different for all people, but you're going to have to measure how far it is from this structure block to the button, which is pretty easy. So if I walk over here, you see how that position, we're not looking at the middle position, only the left one. See how the position went from -98 to -97? Then if I go over here, -96, and we're lined up with the button. So we moved on an X coordinate 2X because it went up by 2. So we got to go up here and put the offset to 2X. Then we've got to check how much the Z offset is. So once we've got the block here, we need to move up -2. Because you see how it went from -220 to -222. So that's -2. So we'll open up here, we'll change the Z offset to -2. And once you get that, it should be right on this button here. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure the mode is on save, and you're going to name the structure whatever you want. Just make sure it's nothing that you've used a structure block before in this world. So I'll just name this one button for duel tutorial. Boom. And then once you type in that name, you're going to hit save on here. And so it'll save the button there. Then you're going to change the mode to load. Alright, so now if we break this over here, hit load, boop, it'll place the button right back on the wall there. And if you want to remove this annoying white box, super simple, just scroll down until you see very bottom show bounding box and just turn that off. And then the button will be there. If you break it, you can hit load and it'll place the button back. But the reason we want this is because so this is my structure block that loads in this button. So for that other command all the way over here on the top of the chain command block, set block blank 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 to redstone block, those coordinates are going to be right next to your structure block. Oops. Because if you didn't know, if you place a redstone block next to a structure block, it's like if you went in here and hit load. So if you place the redstone block there, which it'll place here, then it'll load the button back for the next person to duel. And then this repeated command block here, pretty simple, just changes it back to air and the delay in ticks is 15 seconds, repeat, always active. And this will just set the block back to air once it loads the button back. So yep, that is pretty much it for our duels tutorial today. So if you followed along correctly, you should now have a working duels game mode for your Minecraft world. So just want to say thank you so much for watching. If this tutorial helped you at all, Don't forget to leave a subscribe, leave a like as well if it did. And if you want to, again, you could check out our Minigame Mayhem Minecraft Bedrock server at minigamemayhem.eternos.me. Port is 58691. So yep, thank you so much for watching. I know this isn't my usual video, because I usually do Roblox stuff, but I've been into Minecraft lately, and haven't found any good Duels tutorials, so I just wanted to make this one to help you guys out. So anyways, I'll see you in the next video.